Hi, what's up, bitches? Today we're going to be looking at some tweets about the Crunchyroll and Funimation merger. These are mainly in response to a YouTuber named Giga who made a sponsored tweet about the whole thing going down, basically calling him a shill and being on that big corporation bad type beat. So the first tweet says, I know they sponsor you and I get money is important, so I in no way blame you for this, but Crunchyroll merging with Funimation is just a monopoly on the Western market. Both companies are known for pushing censorship. I will pirate all my anime from here on out. First of all, I just want to say, I don't really give a shit if people pirate anime. This video isn't about that. It's mainly just about the monopoly part. It really isn't a bad thing because it just means more anime is under one service. It's kind of like how people were complaining about there being too much launchers on PC. Like you would have Steam, Uplay, Origin, and then when the Epic Game Store came around, some people were saying that it was a good thing because it would make competition with Steam, but it turned out to be complete dog shit and everyone hated it. And then Ubisoft started releasing their games back on Steam, and Apex was put on Steam from Origin. And then that conversation sort of died down because everyone realized that having everything on Steam wasn't so bad. So basically what I'm trying to say is a monopoly doesn't always mean a bad thing. When it comes to luxuries like anime and video games, it's not really a big deal. Alright, so this next tweet that I got here says, so Crunchyroll and Funimation finally merged, but let's see what it's like having a monopoly 1 or 2 years down the line. So yeah, as I just explained, it's probably not going to be that big a deal. Instead of having to pay for both Funimation and Crunchyroll, you can just pay for one. Like what's so bad about that? Like could you imagine if every single movie, TV show, cartoon, and anime was under one streaming service? I personally see that as an absolute win. So this next tweet I got here says, is it great for consumers? Having pretty much all the anime under one umbrella seems like it's essentially a monopoly at this point. Consumers benefit when there's competition. Yeah, personally, I'm not benefiting from having to pay multiple subscription services, especially when there's one season of a show on one streaming platform and then the second season is on another. Yeah, that's just fucking stupid. I'd rather just have to pay for one. Anyway, this next tweet says, how is it the right direction? I mean, there is the plus of more shows under one name, but the service will possibly cost twice as much, and it's ultimately making the anime space a monopoly. This feels like a show post, to be honest. Alright, so first of all, he was paid to make the tweet, but I don't really think that matters. Actually, I think it's a pretty good thing because they're getting the word out to more people, and they'll know that they'll be able to cancel their Funimation subscription. Second, they're not changing the price. It'll just be under Crunchyroll, which I believe is like $10, which I personally think is a fair price. There's like this fear that the price is going to go up to like a ridiculous amount, but that really can't happen. If the price is too high, people aren't going to buy it. Anime is a luxury, not a necessity, so if people can't afford it, they're not going to buy it. And Crunchyroll is a business that wants to make money, so they'll keep the price at a point so that when most people look at it, they'll say, okay, yeah, I can pay for this. Alright, so this next one covers a couple topics that I want to talk about. It says, I will never pay for Crunchyroll again. Not only do they change dub dialogues and subtitles with localization excuses, they are creating a monopoly, and I will not support this company because I know it will never benefit animators who work in the industry and that still get underpaid. Alright, so there's a big misconception that animators get paid based on how well a show does or how much money a company rakes in from subscriptions and stuff like that, but they actually get paid a salary, so whether the job is done or not, basically. I do agree that animators don't get paid enough, but that salary is determined by the company they directly work for, so anyone trying to say that it's affected by Crunchyroll in any sort of way are just wrong. This whole thing about how they change subtitles and dub dialogue isn't as big a deal as people think it is. If people really have a problem with the subtitles, then they're just gonna go watch the anime on a pirate website where there's fan subs, like how a lot of people said they did with an anime called Komi Can't Communicate. And if they have a problem with the dub, then they're just not gonna watch it. And obviously these companies don't want you pirating anime, so in the end it'll force them to do better. Alright, this next tweet says, this is bad news for consumers and probably content creators. Monopolies will drive down the benefit to the content creators and offer no diversification of options for consumers. I loved Anime Lab and thought that was by far the best service. Now it's been gobbled up twice. Alright, so I don't know how this means bad news for content creators. I really can't think of a reason why, but I don't think this guy realizes that more diversity in this situation is a bad thing, because when it comes to something like TV shows, you're gonna want to watch a lot of different things, obviously, and if those things are on multiple different subscription services, then we'll just end up paying more money. So ultimately, it's just bad for the consumer. So that's all the tweets that I had. Just a bunch of big corporation bad shit. And before I end this off, I just want to make sure that nobody thinks that I believe all monopolies are good, especially when it comes to things that people need to survive. Obviously, that's a bad thing, but when it comes to luxuries, it's not always such a big deal. Anyways, I now have an outro. One of my homies makes music, so check his shit out. It's pretty fire.
Ay, this weed got me thinking, it also got me spinning. Consistently whipping, I be in the fucking kitchen. CK wings, bitch, the way I get this chicken. Mama said if you